The CUBE project is BCIT's 3D Simulation Development Lab. It's a new venture for us in partnership with Lockheed Martin and others, and we are looking to develop some 3D learning objects that will help us enhance our curriculum that we develop to students.
It's fundamentally about taking conventional teaching tools and creating 3D models so that you can actually take them apart and put them back together again in a classroom environment without actually having to touch expensive technology. And for an applied institution like BCIT, that's particularly important. It's really revolutionary. It's a new idea, but the whole idea is to create something that's not going away from conventional teaching, but is actually a blended solution. It's to take the original projects and to enhance them to create a really enriched curriculum environment. And delivered over a mobile device or a laptop in the field, that environment can be just about anywhere.
We've been creating 3 different 3D modeling projects this year. The first one was the Engrain PT6 engine, which we worked closely with the Aerospace Technology Center. The second is currently the Prosthetics and Orthotics program, where we've been developing a 3D model of the knee, as well as joints and prosthetic systems for students. And the third and final one is a model of a boxcar for CN Rail, and specifically our School of Transportation at BCIT.
Mechanics is all about three-dimensional intelligence. A good mechanic has to develop a very sophisticated level of three-dimensional pictures in their brain. And when I saw the Engrain abilities to assist students in developing that intelligence, I was very excited about the possibilities of being able to very quickly develop that in our students using those products.
From the academic perspective, using 3D technology, it's forced us to reevaluate some of the depth that we can teach things at in the classroom. Ability to rotate and to move it through the range of motion in the knee, for example, has really allowed us to get a little deeper into the content.
I think the advantage of 3D is really that from a student's point of view, they get to see all the parts pretty much as they are in the real world, but in a virtual environment. They can play with them, they can familiarize themselves with them, they can do virtual assembly and disassembly procedures, and they can do it time and time again, and there's no danger of anything getting broken or anyone getting hurt.
Most of my students are in their early 20s, and they're used to playing with video games and animation, so it's a media they're really comfortable with, and they can adapt to it pretty readily, so it works.
It's such a useful tool when you're learning the engine or you're learning any parts. And I know one of my friends who went through this program before, they did it with landing gear.
Very easy to use, very thorough, very, very detailed. I would have to thank the animators for making it so completely just identical to the PT6 itself.
The future looks very bright for the CUBE and for what this is doing for BCIT, because this is an excellent example of partnerships with BCIT as a premier institution of education in the province of BC, with external partners and international partners with Lockheed Martin. So we are appreciative of their investment in us, and we plan to make this something that has a life after this initial 2-year project.
When the Engrain and three-dimensional technology was first introduced to me, I was very skeptical about it. I was very worried that the attempt was to replace the instructor. I now realize that this is fantastic. I think it's fantastic.